Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If you will just give me a moment to figure out what I'm doing here. Okay, can everyone see this PowerPoint?
Yes, Sarah.
Yay. Okay, so we did a training similar to this when we reopened Michigan last year. So I think it was early summer. And so we're just going to do kind of a little bit of a refresher of this training. I'm going to start it and I'm going to hand it off to Michelle, and then let Julie kind of add any of her comments and information if she would like. And then we'll get you guys on your merry way. So a lot of this is information that has been drilled into your head over the last year. So I'm just going to recap it quickly for you. So the symptoms of COVID, as everyone knows, can range from mild to severe. Obviously, it can be fatal, which is a scary part of this disease. But it's the typical kind of flu-like symptoms. So fever, cough, shortness of breath, other respiratory and non-respiratory symptoms. So if you have any of those, that's when we get concerned and need you guys to call your local physician, your primary care physician, to see if you need a test. How the virus is transmitted is usually airborne, but can also remain on surfaces. So that's why hand hygiene is very important, as well as the social distancing and obviously wearing your mask. The information that we trust are OSHA's website, the CDC, and NEOSHA too, the National Institute of Occupational Health and Safety. And so I've linked these websites, but I'm sure that you guys all know them and love them by now. Our office safety protocols are what kind of got us through the last 12 months, I would say. I think we have been wildly successful in keeping our employees safe and keeping exposures in the offices very, very limited. But if you want to find the office safety protocols, you can find them in Paylocity. They live in your employee portal under the company block right here. And then while you're here, you can also check out our lovely employee handbook as well. For OSHA, though, we do need to have some programs in place. And I think that our safety protocols cover those programs. And what they need to do is measures that limit the spread of COVID in the workplace, ensure that workers who are infected or potentially infected are separated and sent home, and then also protections from retaliation for workers who raise COVID-19 related concerns. Okay, and then so now we get into the kind of the protocols themselves. Michelle, do you want to take over?
Yeah, I can. So first off, thank you all for doing exactly what you guys have been doing for the last month and a half. Holy crap. I wish it was only a month that we've been doing this, a year and a half, maybe, that you've been doing this. So thank you for putting up with every email that we've been sending you, every update that we've been sending you. You guys are rock stars in following everything. We're going to continue to send you guys things as it comes out. So thank you for everything that you've been doing. So face coverings and the plastic guards on your desk. Obviously, those are essential tools for getting things done right now. On the marketplace, there are the face masks for staff. Again, you do have the availability for the free ones if you are newer and you have not been able to order them. If you don't know how to order them, you can always reach out to us. You can reach out to Carrie. You can reach out to your RSCs. We have those steps for you if you want to order those. If you have a newer staff member, say like in accounting or marketing or somewhere, marketing would know, but if you have somebody that's newer that doesn't know about it, definitely send over to that person, hey, we have these, and, tote your brand around even whenever you're going to the supermarket. It's a really easy plug for us to, show our pride. The shields are generally for our front desk and people, or people who have a lot of contact with the public and or agents. If you feel like you don't have enough protection that way, or if you need one, definitely let us know. Like if you're sitting in a very high traffic area and you need something, let us know. If at any point you feel like you need more protection, or you need isolated in your own little area, or there's too many people in your space, let us know. We can't do something for you unless you speak up. That's kind of the problem that we've been running into, is people are complaining, hey, I didn't know that I needed to say anything. Well, we don't know where you sit. We're all over basically the entire country. I don't know what's happening in Michigan. Sarah doesn't know what's happening in Florida, so unless somebody says something, we can't help you. I'm good on this slide, Sarah. Cleaning. I know nobody likes to clean, but it's pretty essential. The cleaner you are, the more hygienic you are. So definitely keep your space as clean as possible. Whenever we do have an active case, we definitely get it cleaned. This is kind of a no-brainer. We have cleaning companies come in, they do a deep clean, but we do also have regular cleaning companies come through periodically throughout the week and do cleans as well. But it's also up to you as staff to take that initiative to keep it clean as well. It does kind of fall on our ASCs and our RSCs to clean the office a lot more than other staff members, but you are, kind of the face of the office. You're kind of what sets the tone. If they see you do it, maybe they'll do it too. So, maybe next time Joe Schmo will go and pick up a rag and help clean up too. Anything to add, Sarah, Julie?
No, I think, I think that's good. Even if you aren't, at the ASC or the front desk, you should be responsible for your own personal workstation as well. So wiping that down with antibacterial wipes or sprays as well, at least twice a day, because even though I know you guys are practicing your hand hygiene very well, it does not hurt to make sure that the space that you're living and working in during the day is clean and bacteria free.
And then if you are not finding any of these products to be able to clean your offices, definitely let Carrie know. I know that there for a while we were having a lot of problems finding Clorox wipes and Lysol sprays and things. I think that surplus deficiency has been kind of left us now. Sorry, I'm going to pause for a second. There's a train going by and it's really close to my window. This is the bad part of literally being on the train tracks. You can probably all hear it, right? To the people on the train.
It wasn't too bad.
It's not too bad. Okay. So I think that's passed, but if you still are having problems getting it, let us know and we can either send you some or, get you some from somewhere. I saw Michelle Cruz had a question about masks.
Did you want me to address that?
I can't see the question, so I don't know what she asked.
I saw it pop up, but I don't know what it said.
That's okay. I'll address it. Her concern is if there's something that we could do as a company about agents not wearing masks in our office. So
do we want to wait till the end for those, or do we want to address them as they come up?
I can address it real quick. Our company policy is to wear masks in our offices, and if you have a repeat offender, you guys you aren't meant to be the bad guy. You're not meant to be the police. So if you have an agent religiously not wearing a mask, you've mentioned that the company policy is to mask up in common areas where social distancing is not possible, then just go to the manager, speak with your manager, speak with your regional VP or regional director, depending on which region you sit in, and let them have that conversation with the agent. Because as of today, it is still company policy in all of our offices to wear masks when you're unable to socially distance and you're in the office. So reach out Michelle after if you have further concerns. But good question.
So with this one, if you feel unsafe, again, we were talking about like if you don't feel like you have enough protection, or if you need more protection, let us know. Or if you possibly came into exposure with somebody, or if another staff member or an agent came into exposure with somebody, or even if they were tested positive, basically what they would do is go through any of these steps. They can contact, their manager, they can contact HR directly, they can contact their regional vice president, president, whoever, as long as the information is going through the chain and it is kept as confidential as possible, then we should be good. We try to keep the person's name as out of it as much as we can in those conversations. At least in Florida, we refer to them as patient zero until it hits at least my desk. And then I have to ask whoever that person is reporting who patient zero is. I don't know what you guys do in Michigan, Sarah. What do you?
I couldn't find my mute button. We do not refer to them as patient zero, but we do keep names as confidential as possible.
Oh, I literally get somebody to text me. They're like, I have a patient. I'm like, okay. So.
Michelle, I can talk about this one. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're tired of talking, I can do this one.
This one's kind of your baby anyway.
So we've been doing this pandemic now for a year and some change, and I know we're tired of it, and we're tired of following the stringent guidelines and the CDC guidelines, and we just want to go back to normal. And that's what is called caution fatigue, and that's when you can kind of lower your guard and stop, following the guidelines as much as you should, and that's when you get in trouble. So you just have to keep your guard up. You have to kind of fight this caution fatigue and just know that there is light at the end of the tunnel, especially right now with the continued effort for every American adult to get a vaccination by summer. So we are, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and because we've worked together to follow these guidelines, to keep each other safe, to keep ourselves safe, to keep our families safe, we're going to come out on this stronger on the other side. I know it's been tiring. It's been hard. It's wearing both mentally and physically. So I just want you guys to know that I'm really proud of you and proud of us as a company for how well we've done in this pandemic and how seriously we've taken it and how well we followed these protocols and these guidelines. So I just want to take this moment, I guess, to thank everyone for doing a good job and for doing your part, because it's not easy. And it's not fun, and we're in this together, and we're getting through this together. So thank you for that. But just be aware. I mean, if you're feeling like this, it's not uncommon. Probably every person in the world is tired of dealing with this. So just keep up the good work. Stay vigilant. Now is not the time to let your guard down, because we are coming, turning a corner, as they say, but we're not there yet. And then, please continue to work safely and practice your hand hygiene and do your social distancing, and obviously keep wearing a mask. It's very important for us to take care of each other. So thank you for doing all the safety protocols with us.
Where did you find that? That's awesome. Wearing is caring.
I Googled it.
That's awesome. I love it.
So is there any questions or concerns or comments that anyone might have?
I have one quick question. The sign-in sheets, office trackers, is there any retention we are keeping on those, 30 days, or we shred them after a certain amount of time or anything like that?
I've been telling offices when they ask, since we're using it for for tracking purposes, I would say 30 days is probably fine. Anything outside of that is information that we probably don't need to know. But Carrie, do you have a different opinion?
No, so really the tracking is, so if there is unfortunately an exposure, we'll be able to go back and notify those people that may have come into contact. So 30 days is well beyond what we are held responsible for. So I would feel comfortable saying the 30 days is probably a good rule of thumb.
In Florida, if you're like staring at the screen and going, what are they talking about? That's a kind of Michigan requirement. That's not a Florida requirement.
And based along those same lines, the Michigan is still under a state of emergency, meaning that our employees, when they come into the office, and they still have to complete a survey, the daily survey, every morning, indicating whether or not you've been in contact with it, with somebody with COVID or displaying symptoms. Michigan's opening up little by little, but it is still considered to be under a state of emergency. So that is still required to be done. And in regards to cleaning supplies and disposable masks and so on, please let your RSC or Carrie or one of us know if you're running and needing supplies in that regards. I know that Michelle covered that a little bit, but the same thing with the disposable mask that we can give to a client and or an agent if they walk in the door without one. Let us know how your supply is doing there. And something, one of the biggest things is, and this is kind of touching on something that Sarah was covering too, is that we all need to take care of our mental health with this also. Is that please allow yourself to, I don't know, kind of take a break mentally from this, whether you call one of us and talk to one of us in regards to it, or just talk to a family member, a friend, somebody in the event that you're having difficulty handling this current situation.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
And your slide before this one mentions the reasons for people being lax, and you talk about the caution fatigue. What do we say to someone, a customer or an agent, that refuses to wear a mask because they've gotten the vaccine? How do we approach something like that?
Well, the vaccine. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, the CDC is still recommending that even if you've been vaccinated, that you should still wear a mask to protect others around you. The mask does not protect you. It protects the people around you. That's the whole point of the mask. The mask protects the people around you from giving them your like little bugs. Am I explaining that correctly, Sarah?
I mean, yes. So the mask is for, so what you could say is, the mask is for, protecting everything else. The vaccine is for protecting you. So the vaccine doesn't stop you, unfortunately, from being able to spread the virus, but it does stop you from, if you get the virus, it's going to stop you from having, a fatality or I guess I don't know what the best word I'm looking for, but it stops you from having a bad case of COVID. So the vaccine is for you, but the mask is for everyone else. And we're still under the, like Carrie said, the mask mandate. So even if you have your vaccine, you're still supposed to be wearing your mask inside of the office, unfortunately. So if you do have an issue with an agent or a customer, like Carrie said, you're not the bad guy. So, tell them the rule. If they put up a fight, then, get your manager or somebody up the chain of command to back you up with this.
Okay, thank you.
And Sharon, as of the 1st of March, only 8% of Florida had been vaccinated fully. So we are nowhere near that herd, herd immunity that they keep throwing around. Right. So we're not even close to out of the woods of this yet. So if anybody starts throwing that around, we literally have had just barely over 1 million people fully vaccinated. We're nowhere near there.
It's just something I thought about, just in case we encounter something like that.
Oh, it's a
great that'll come. Somebody will throw it out there, but you're thinking 4 steps ahead of us.
Sorry.
She has a very good point, because you'll find, at least in the small office that I'm currently in, we've only had one person go through the complete vaccine. She had been eligible. She was eligible for it. So that means there's 7 other people in here that haven't had it. And she is so good about obviously wearing the mask and so on and so forth. She will not let her guard down in regards to it. And I don't think that anybody else within our offices at this point should be assuming that just because they have the vaccine, that means I don't have to do it.
And if you guys have other questions or comments or anything that you don't want to share with a larger group, then you know how to get a hold of, Carrie or myself or Michelle or Julie. So, feel free to reach out offline on a one-to-one basis. We're always happy to chat through any, issues or questions or anything that you might have as well.
And we've been talking about COVID in our sleep at this point. So we're overly schooled in this. You can ask Carrie that, we've literally grown weary of the word ourselves. So as much as you guys are sick about hearing it, we're sick about talking about it.
Carrie promised us a vacation in USVI when this is over. So I'm just putting that out publicly to hold her to that.
Yeah.
I think you should have probably
the entire HR team is going at the same time. So good luck, everybody.
Okay, so I think that's all that we have. Does anyone else have anything that they have questions about or want to talk about a little further? Or Carrie, is there anything that we need to wrap up with?
No, I mean, we can give it a few minutes here while we wait for questions to come in, but just want to reiterate that we couldn't be doing this without you guys. And we really, really appreciate you guys just being on the front lines. And I know it's not easy, and some days are easier than others. And it just does feel like it's been forever. And just, this is not our jobs, right? This is a pandemic that we're all surviving, and you guys are still doing your day-to-day jobs and supporting our agents and just doing an amazing job. But to Michelle's point, let us know what we can do to help. Reach out. It doesn't have to be like in a big group like this. You can get Michelle, Sarah, and Julie's contact information along with mine and Schmidt Resources in the directory. So you can always feel free to reach out, even confidentially if you want to. So just let us know what we can do to help, and just know that you are very much appreciated. And we're all going to get through this together. I promise we will. There is an end. I don't know if it's in sight yet, but there is an end to this.
Fauci said that we are in stage 5 to 6 of the pandemic. 5 to 6 is that little blip that there's going to be pockets that pop up here and there. And after that is whenever you get into the post-pandemic that it starts to feel like this is drawing on forever and ever and ever and ever. And then eventually it'll start to become seasonal, apparently.
Just like the flu, right?
Yes.
So Sarah, that's a great question. And Michelle, Sarah, are you still presenting? Sarah Smith?
I am.
Would you mind going to Schmidt Resources real quick? So Sarah Bennett's question was, is there a written plan of action if we have someone stop in the office and ask for it? So yes, locally, your health departments may be visiting. We've had people in our offices across the company. We do have our plan. It is still in the ASC square on Schmidt Resources, which Sarah's going to show you here quickly. But please know that this should also be printed and kept at your front desk. Michigan, I'm looking at you probably more specifically than Ohio or Florida, because that's where we've been getting reports of people stopping in from the local health departments. We've had state and federal people say that they're not going to enforce certain rules, but we really have to pay attention to our local health departments and what they're up to. So I'm sorry, I was talking while you showed that, but she went to the ASC square and Schmidt Resources, and then
here's my path. ASC Resources, COVID office procedures.
Yep. So go ahead.
And then also this lives in Paylocity too. Everyone in their employee portal has a copy of this as well.
Yep. So that is the document you'd want to print out. Just keep a copy at your front desks. Know it's there digitally. It really hasn't changed much since whatever that date says, December. I think. So it is the most recent. It's the most up to date. It's still currently Michigan, Ohio, Florida, USVI, our office procedures. So if you need a copy to print, feel free to head there and print a copy. Black and white's fine if you don't have color option in your office. But if somebody comes in asking, that's the document they're going to be asking for. Great question. Any other questions? And again, feel free to offline anything, any questions, comments, or concerns you guys have. As we work through getting the vaccine, we are going to follow the same policy that we've always followed as a company when it comes to a flu vaccine. There will be no company provided mandates. We're going to follow lines of highly suggesting for the person's health to reach out to their personal care physician, decide what's best for them. And then that will be this kind of the same line that we went down with the flu shot path, if you guys remember from that last fall. So that is what the company line will be when it comes to the same vaccination for COVID that it is for flu.
And we do, if the only time that you can obtain an appointment to get your vaccine, and you are going to obviously go for the vaccine, please be aware that the company will pay you for your time. We're not requiring you to take a PTO time for that shot. So whenever you can schedule your vaccine, go for it.
Good point.
And Kim, I saw your question. Yes, we've had people accidentally hit yes, and trust me, we track you down.
Yes, they do.
You might not have been tracked down on Monday, though, because I was a little bit in and out that day. But I get the Michigan's one sent my way. So I'm glad that it was an accidental yes.
Great. Well, Julie, Sarah, Michelle, thank you so much for hosting our first and third at 3. A very necessary topic, even though it might not be any of our favorites, but it is something we definitely are still dealing with. And again, just really appreciate your guys' help. Reach out after the fact if you have any concerns about supplies, masks. If you need that free staff mask codes again, reach out. We can send you the document so that we can get some of our new staff members that free mask. I do think we're getting gaiters in the store, which depending on who you're dealing with, some people allow them, some people don't, but they are always nice to have, whether you're wearing them as a headband, a face mask, or a scarf. So look for those to be coming into the store here soon as well. So thank you guys so much for your time. If you're going
to Disney Carry, they don't allow them.
I know my kids' school doesn't allow them either, but I do like them in the winter because they keep you warmer.
Airplanes aren't allowing them either.
Airplanes are not. That's the federal mask mandate. Correct. Well, I agree. HR rocks. Thanks you guys for everything you're doing. And let us know what we can do to help in your regions. Thanks everyone for your time. Really appreciate it.